Hello, hello, welcome. My name is Travis and let's check out some slot cars. What do I have here? So, this is the 65th Pikes Peak Hill Climb Test 1987 Peugeot 205 T16 Evo 2 by SRC. What do you get when you purchase this car? Let's take a closer look. So as you can see, it comes in a nice little display box. Not too big, not too small. But before I go any further, I should have a quick chat about SRC. This car, well, this Peugeot version is done by SRC, Slot Racing Company, and they're from Spain. And they've been around for probably 9 years, I believe. A little bit of history, they've just gone through a bit of a revamp. So some of their older cars, being the Ford Capri, the Porsche, can't think of the model off the top of my head, but they just had a revamp, overhaul, in regards to chassis design, motor layout, etc. And this is their version of the Pikes Peak Hill Climb Test Peugeot 205 T16 Evo 2 in the camel livery. Alright, let's have a quick look. I'll take the case apart. I've already disassembled this, as you can tell, and we'll have a quick look at what you get in the box. Here's your SRC box card. Has a little bit of information front and rear. This is a limited edition that I've opened up, which is number 90 of 415. In the little baggie there is a little, I believe it's the co-driver, or it can be a second replacement driver, and you can paint him or her, well, I'll say it's a him, as you wish. I like this little touch. I think when they're giving you these little build kits, a lot of slot car companies are doing it at the moment. They're either making you build the car or little added features, but I think that's quite cool. Rightio. Comes on its own display base with SRC's nice little logo down here and what the car is. Rightio. Let's take it off and have a quick squeeze. So as it sits, as you can see, it looks quite good in yellow, and it's the famous camel colour and a nice little camel livery. Now, as for detail, it's definitely one of the best Peugeots or 205s that I've seen being done. The shell itself is highly detailed. You've got little flimsy, flippy mud guards, bit of plastic work here. You can actually see through that if it's in your own hands. The main detail is, I believe, is this little engine bay section. It's a rear engine rally car, but in the guts of that is that great big snail or turbo. Got a bit of roll cage work at the back, and even looking through that rear window, you can see the actual holes or the harness cutouts in that passenger seat. Little painted rivets, or whatever they used back in the day. I think there's like maybe a battery or something in the back there. A little bit more detail, but once again, once it's in your hands, you can have a closer look. Take my word for it. Roof mounted rear spoiler. I believe in real life those bars would be adjustable on the real car, I'm guessing. But on this, it's just the static. And it's sat there looking pretty. Look at the size of, jeez. It's like a big knife. Little antenna on top, wing. It's actually quite strong too. I've had a couple of flicks here and there on it. A little bit of metalwork on the rear here, a bit of a grille section. Actually feels quite good. And let's turn around to the front. Now these lights, there's no globes or LEDs in there, but I believe if you're good enough, you could probably put your own in there, but these aren't active lights. A bit more meshwork at the front, and some splitters, and obviously front mud guards as well. Over to the other side, and it's pretty much the same. The driver's nicely detailed. He's sitting there in his camel colours, his harness strap over his shoulders, hanging onto that steering wheel like there's no tomorrow. And this thing would have been a beast back in the day. Let's check out the Bonnet Scoop cutout. There's a nice twin fan set up in there. You can see little silver suckers. They'll be sucking the air or keeping that engine cool down the back. I believe they probably would have ran pipes or something down the back of the car and cool down this big sucker. Rightio. Let's have a quick look underneath. So SRC put this car together in quite a unique way. There's one little screw at the front, which I'll take out right now. One little sucker, if I can find him. Let's take him out. Now I would have, normally I pre-take these things apart so it doesn't ruin the video, but because it's a unique way of how they've put it together, I thought I'll show you. So there's one screw on the front, then you little bit of a jiggle, and she pops off. Now what I did there was, there's another, let's have a look if it zooms in, that little C cutout on the rear of this car. Let's put him down, got too much stuff going on. There's that little screw, and that just hooks in there and holds it nice and tight. Now I've driven this car on plastic track, wooden track, and I've never had the shell pop off, so there's no issue there with the shell coming off. All right, let's put that aside for now and let's have a look at the internal of this body. Now the actual, I mean, from all the detail we've got and how much it looks like it's going to be quite a big cockpit, underneath it sits quite flush, which I think they've done a great job of keeping that nice and slimline. Obviously the weight's down and a lot of room to play with. Other than that, that's pretty much it with the shell, but take my word for it, this in your own hands is quite nicely detailed. I believe they do a different range of colours and livery, but this is obviously number 90 of, what did I say, 90 of 415 in this livery. Let's chuck him inside and let's check out the chassis itself. Rightio, what do we got here? So this is a four-wheel drive system, driven from the back. So the rear tyres spin, obviously connect to the motor, and there's a nice little rubber bandy thing that connects to a little pulley thingy at the front. They're the technical words too. It's a rubber bandy thing and a pulley thingy. What else is unique about this car? It's got a spring-loaded front guide. Well, most guides should be at the front, otherwise you'll be driving backwards. And I found that that's great. If you watch YouTube, you'll see over in Europe, they race on a lot of Nimco track or Scalatric track or Carrera track, and some people like to do nice little rally layouts with bumps and nooks. This thing will take that quite easily. I have tested this on a routed track, wooden routed track, and look, hitting corners at high speed, it is a bit of an issue because they pop out, but this wasn't designed to race solely on wooden route tracks. That could be changed quite easily. You can put a wood routed guide in there, and job's done, but performs quite well. Very quick, nice and grippy, four-wheel drive. What else is unique with this? SRC on their webpage or their online store, they have a fair few selection, I should say, of options you can add on to cars, and one of those options are these weight bars. Now I've already pre-installed them, these little pins here, they just slip over the top and they sit there nice and pretty. It's got a bit of weight to it, that'll keep all tractions down, and you can sort of play with that as you feel necessary, whether you've got magnets that can fit in there, magnets at the front, whatever you want to do, but they ain't magnets, they are definitely weights. So this is a non-magnet car from memory, and it's four-wheel drive, so that'll keep it nice and sturdy. What motor are we running? We're running an M6 20,000 RPM SRC motor. They've got a range of motors on their website, so I recommend check them out and try different setups, because these motors react in different ways. There's an M6, M5, M3 and M7, but don't take my word for it, check out their website. It's www.src.es, being that it's European. Rear section, we've got a nice metal pinion, and it connects to a nylon, I would say it is, rear pinion or tooth or whatever you want to call it, the technical words. I'll let you play with them at home. Let me see if I can zoom in on that because it's hating me right now. Nice little grub screw there just to remove the whole section. You can change in your pinion and your teeth to change your ratios, etc, etc, etc. What else we got? So, if the camera wants to zoom in, also the metal hubs, they're removable as well. If I can get it around, you'll see just there, there's a nice another little metal grub screw, and they can be replaced. I've just checked out their latest video on Instagram. Whoa, and they've just made some new rims for their Porsche, so hopefully they make some more rims for other cars and you can interchange them. Again, it's an inline setup for the motor. Very strong, like high quality. Obviously metal parts, not too much plastic in regards to the strengthening sections. And there she is. Let's bring out a nice little bit of MDF board and we'll have a look what it sits like. So, as you can see, it sits nice and flat, and that's how she rolls. Rightio, I think that's enough on the SRC 205 T16 Evo 2. If you want one of yours, obviously check out your local hobby shop. Hopefully they stock it. If they don't stock it, speak to your hobby shop and get them to get some SRC stuff in. Again, SRC's going through a nice little revamp where they're starting to release new models and obviously updating their old models. So SRC were known for nice detailed cars. Now they're known for nice detailed cars that actually go very well. So I recommend check them out. Other than that, that's about all I believe I can tell you about this car. Anything I've missed, please put in the comments. Again, my name is Travis. I'm on Instagram, and that's @thatslotcarguy. Nice and handy. So yeah, check me out on Instagram, and thanks for watching.